The prisoner who defied maximum security. 10 times. Imagine a man so cunning, so fearless, that no prison walls could hold him. He wasn't just any criminal. He was a master of escape, a legend among fugitives. Locked in some of the world's most secure facilities, he did the impossible. Not once, not twice, but 10 times. Every time authorities thought they had him, he vanished like a ghost, slipping through iron bars, dodging guards, and outsmarting security systems designed to be inescapable. This isn't a Hollywood movie. This is a real-life story of the most dangerous prisoner who defied maximum security again and again. Some called him a genius, others a menace. He left law enforcement humiliated, governments scrambling for answers, and the world wondering, how did he do it? From elaborate tunnels to faked illnesses, from climbing sheer walls to manipulating guards, his escapes were nothing short of legendary. Every time he was captured, authorities swore it would be the last. They reinforced his cells, doubled the guards, installed cutting-edge surveillance. But it didn't matter. He always found a way out. His story is one of daring, deception, and pure determination, a cat-and-mouse game that lasted for years. But in the end, did he escape for good? Or did the law finally catch up with the ultimate escape artist? Stay tuned as we dive deep into the 10 greatest prison escapes of the most dangerous man to ever be locked up and break free. The making of a criminal mastermind. Before he became the most infamous escape artist in history, he was just another boy growing up in a troubled home. Born into a world of hardship, he learned early that survival meant being smarter, faster, and always one step ahead. Whether it was running from bullies, outwitting teachers, or escaping punishment at home, he quickly developed a talent for deception and evasion, skills that would later make him a legend. As a teenager, he turned to petty crime, theft, fraud, and small-time cons. But his ambitions quickly grew. By his early 20s, he was involved in high-stakes robberies, extortion, and violent crimes that put him on law enforcement's radar. He wasn't just another criminal. He was calculated, methodical, and incredibly elusive. Police caught him several times, but each time he managed to slip through their fingers, setting the stage for what would become his life's greatest skill. Escaping his first major arrest came after a botched armed robbery. This time, the police weren't taking any chances. He was sentenced to a maximum security prison, where authorities believed he would finally be contained. But they had underestimated him. While others accepted their fate behind bars, he studied every inch of the prison, memorized guard schedules, and learned from experienced inmates. He wasn't planning to serve his time. He was planning his first great escape. And soon, the world would witness the beginning of a prison-breaking legend. The birth of a prison break legend. Locked behind bars in a maximum security prison, most inmates accepted their fate. But not him. From the moment he arrived, he wasn't thinking about serving time. He was planning his escape. And soon, he would pull off not just one, but multiple prison breaks that left authorities stunned. His first escape was deceptively simple, but brilliant. He noticed that the prison's laundry system had weak security. Over weeks, he studied how guards checked laundry carts and realized they barely looked inside. One night, he hid inside a pile of dirty uniforms, holding his breath as guards pushed the cart through the gates. Moments later, he was outside the walls and running free. The escape was so effortless that prison officials were humiliated when they discovered he was missing. After being recaptured months later, he was sent to an even more secure facility. But he had already learned one key lesson. Every prison had a weakness. His second escape came when he faked a severe illness. He collapsed in his cell, foaming at the mouth, barely breathing. Guards, thinking he was dying, rushed him to the prison hospital. But once inside, he overpowered a guard, stole his uniform, and walked out the front door. By the time anyone realized what had happened, he was already miles away. Each time he was caught, authorities tried to make sure it would never happen again. But they were dealing with someone far more determined. High-stakes chases, disguises, and near captures. By now, law enforcement had labeled him one of the most dangerous fugitives in history. Every time they locked him up, he found a way out. But his next escapes would take things to a whole new level, full of high-speed chases, disguises, and near-impossible feats. One of his most daring escapes involved scaling a 30-foot prison wall. Guards believed it was impossible until he proved them wrong. Using bedsheets twisted into a rope and metal scraps he had sharpened into makeshift hooks, he climbed the wall in the dead of night. The moment his feet hit the ground on the other side, sirens blared. Guards flooded the yard, but he was already sprinting into the darkness. He outran K-9 units, slipped through roadblocks, and disappeared. In another unbelievable escape, he disguised himself as a prison guard. He spent months observing their uniforms, mannerisms, and key access points. One day, he knocked out a real guard, stole his uniform, and confidently walked straight past multiple security checkpoints. By the time the real guard was found tied up in a storage closet, the escapee was already in another state. One of the closest calls came when he stole a police car during a chaotic manhunt. With helicopters circling overhead and roadblocks closing in, he ditched the stolen vehicle, jumped into a river, and swam for hours to avoid detection. No matter how much security was increased, he always found a way out, and with each escape, his legend grew. But the question remained, could he escape forever, or would the law finally catch up to him? Did he escape for good, or was he finally caught by now? He was more than just a fugitive. He was a legend, a man who had humiliated law enforcement time and time again. With 10 successful prison breaks under his belt, authorities were desperate to stop him. Every police department in the country had his face plastered on wanted posters, and his name was whispered among criminals like a ghost story. But his final escape would be the most daring and the most dangerous one yet. After being recaptured for the 10th time, he was sent to a military-grade supermax prison, a fortress designed for the world's most dangerous criminals. There were no weak fences, no laundry carts, no disguises that could get him out this time. His cell was reinforced with steel, under 24-hour surveillance, and the guards had orders to shoot on sight if he attempted anything. Escape was impossible, or so they thought one night during a routine shift change. The power went out for exactly 30 seconds. When the emergency lights flickered back on, his cell was empty. Panic erupted. Guards searched every inch of the prison, but he was gone. Security footage later revealed that he had bribed an electrician, using money he had smuggled in through a corrupt guard. The power cut had disabled the electronic locks for just enough time for him to slip out of his cell. What followed was the biggest manhunt in history. FBI, Interpol, and elite task forces scoured the globe. Rumors spread. Some said he had escaped to South America. Others believed he was living under a fake identity in Europe. Despite endless searches, he was never found. Some believe he's still out there, watching, waiting, always one step ahead. Others say he died in hiding, taking his secrets to the grave. But one thing is certain. He outsmarted the system like no one before him, and maybe, just maybe, he's still out there, planning his next great escape.